Greetings there, future programmer and software developer, or current first-year computer science student, even prospective Rhodes University student. Today, I want to share with you my personal opinions and experiences with the Computer Science 101 module that is offered at Rhodes University. It is offered in the first semester of your first year of study. Basically, as a freshman or woman fresh out of high school, with those top marks and distinctions on your matriculation certificate, this is the module that Rhodes University welcomes you to university with. Honestly speaking, it is not a difficult module. It is challenging, yes, but Python has never been a difficult language to learn and comprehend. Trust me, the next video I do in this series of videos will focus on the next module that is offered in the second semester, and that module is Java. Java is a lot crazier than Python, much more difficult, and requires a bit more mental strength than Python, if you know what I mean. Now that we know what language Computer Science 101 focuses on, now we are ready to talk about the integrated development environment that you will use to code Python in. Basically, an IDE is the environment that you will be writing code in. It is basically the text editor that you will be using, or simply put, it is the software that you will be using to write and run your Python code. The IDE used for learning Python in your first year is called Thonny. Thonny is a lightweight IDE, which means that it doesn't require you to have a laptop with very high specifications, which is pretty normal and an advantage given that you are probably coming straight from high school, and this is just an introductory module to coding. I'm pretty sure you can even run Thonny on your phone, although I have never tried to run it on my phone before. So, the advantage is that Thonny is a lightweight, low-spec, and an easily accessible IDE, which is great. But personally, I never liked Thonny. It is pretty dull, and it does not spark and ignite the imagination. It just does not have that thing. It's not an IDE I would prefer to code Python in. In fact, personally, I never used Thonny even in my first year of study. However, I do encourage you to use Thonny because it does not have any intensive artificial intelligence-driven code completion, which simply means that you have to code from scratch. You have to learn the syntax of the programming language the hard way, which is actually a good thing. Syntax is another word that you will hear often in your computer science journey. It just simply means the rules of the programming language. Similar to how to learn the rules of the English language, such as sentence construction, verbs, nouns, etc., and how to correctly construct a sentence using the correct grammar. Programming has the same vibes and the same learning path, so brace yourself. It will be a steep learning curve, but it will be worth it. You need to know the rules of the programming language, which in this case is Python. You need to know what goes where and what is allowed and what is not allowed. This is the syntax rules of the programming language, and unfortunately, this you need to learn the hard way if you are a beginner. If you do not have a strong coding background in your first year of study, please stay away from any IDE that has any intensive auto-completion capabilities. You need to learn the syntax rules of Python the hard way. With that said and done, let us take a brief overview of the content that you are taught in your first semester, Introduction to Python module. The very first coding concept and IDE that you are introduced to is called turtle graphics. If I'm being brutally honest with you, turtle graphics is a bit confusing to start off with. But nonetheless, it teaches you the logic of coding, the thinking behind writing code. You get to play around with turtle graphics, and you get to write code, and that code gets transformed into visual graphics. It is fun, and it is depressing at the same time. The code sometimes will not run, and the turtle will mysteriously not do the things that need to be done. You will cry, and you will certainly sit at the Hamilton Labs, not knowing what is going on. However, if you push forward and you give it your best shot, if you ask for help, and you use YouTube and all the resources available to you, you will make it out alive, and you will survive the module. The important thing is that you need to make it out alive. Because Turtle Graphics is just an introduction, there's still more to come. You will still shed more tears, you will get more gray hairs, and a few more wrinkles. So, hang in there. Please do not quit the module. Whatever you do, do not drop the module just yet. It gets harder, but it gets more interesting. If I am, however, being honest, if you feel like the module is not for you at this point, you are more than welcome to tap out and drop the module. I would not judge you, and honestly, no one will. A lot of people drop the module at this point. If you survive Turtle Graphics, and your mental health is still intact, and you have not yet ended up in another computer science, student campus mental asylum, you will be introduced to the next concept in your short, single-semester programming journey, which is, of course, as you would expect, the devil of the module. Oh yes, the worst parts of the module are saved for last, just so that you do not run away. You are ultimately trapped. By the time this part of the module is taught, it is too late to deregister from the module. You have to face the music. Keep in mind that this is still your first year and your first semester. One thing about Rhodes University is that you will be mentally tested. You need to be mentally tough. You need to make sure that you really want this degree. You need to make sure that you are 100% invested in computer science. Enough about the sad stories and the mini motivational talks. Let us now talk about the devil in this module, the trap that you are lured into, and you realize it is too late to escape from. Oh yes, it is called Code Runner. Write that down somewhere. Code Runner. That is the devil in the module. But I will break it down and make you understand it at a basic level. Code Runner is the next IDE that you use after Turtle Graphics. It is basically an online code editor that you will use to write code for your tests, assignments, and exams. Code Runner is where you will be given a scenario that you need to solve, and you will need to write Python code that solves the given problem. You will have test cases as shown in the image below, and your code needs to pass all the given test cases. Unfortunately, there are no part marks, and that means that your code needs to pass all the test cases, including hidden test cases. It is this do or die situation that makes this part of the module so difficult. You will be taught more logic, syntax, loops, variables, etc. In fact, you will be taught all the basics you need, but you will have to code via Code Runner. It will challenge you, and it will frustrate you. But once you get it, the rest, as they say, is history. And in conclusion, the module is pretty amazing. The approach they take to teach the module is pretty tough. It is an uphill battle. If, however, you do not have a strong coding background, you will be extensively tested, and you will need to buy yourself some painkillers because you will be constantly stressed. Otherwise, enjoy the module. What does not kill you makes you stronger. But if you do, however, give up and you drop the module, it is not the end of the world.